Yeah, they pulled up really well actually. They both pulled up really well, and which is a good sign. They'll be able to go for a run today and do a little bit today, and hopefully train on Wednesday. The most important part of the season for us is this Friday night against Essendon. That's clearly our most important part of the season as we sit here on a Monday, and that's what our challenge is this week. We're going against Essendon, who have won the last 2 games. They had 9 scoring shots to 3 in the first quarter against Collingwood and Anzac Day. They pushed Hawthorn to within 4 points. They all looked at their midfield on the weekend. They've got Ryder, Watson, Heppel, Stanton, Goddard. They've got a pretty handy team, so we prepare for Essendon's best this week, and that's what we expect to get. Yeah, we knew going into the game that Tom would have a pretty big workload, and we've played against teams that have played 1 ruckman before, and we've played 2 ruckmen, so it just depends on who you've got available. And we knew that Sam Reid was able to do some work in there if needed, and we thought he did a pretty good job, and Kurt did some of the forward stoppages as well. So with the combination of the 3 of them, it shared the workload, but Tom did have a pretty big job for us, and he did a pretty good job for us, really. I mean, he's got in there and taken on 2 quality ruckmen and come out the other end okay.
How's Pikey looking this week?
Pikey, he won't play this week. Yeah, he tried to do some running on last Friday and didn't quite get to the stage where we hope he'd get to, so he's been ruled out for this week. They've got Ryder obviously in the ruck, who's a really athletic ruckman anyway. He's a big jumper and he gets around the ground really well, and Deniher's the other one. They're sort of not quite the standard ruckman. They're those players that can play forward, and when they do play in the ruck, have got a big jump and get plenty of the ball. So it will go in this week with hopefully a bit more game time obviously under Kurt's belt. Reedy's obviously played a bit more in the ruck, and Derek's obviously as well. So with Pikey unavailable, we'd expect a pretty similar makeup. Yeah, I thought they're all right. I mean, they haven't trained much together, let alone played much, and to be able to come out in a game and work pretty well, it certainly helped that our midfield played well, and we were able to get a good quantity of inside 50s, so they were able to get plenty of the ball down there, which makes a big difference. But they seem to work it out pretty well. I'm sure they'll have their ups and downs during the season, like any players on any part of the ground will, but we thought on the weekend that they did pretty well. Our midfield groups over the last month has been a big factor in us being more competitive and more consistent. They've probably up until that point there's 1 or 2 each week that were playing well, but not consistently over the entire group. And over the last few weeks we've had the weight of numbers in there as far as 7 or 8 players, 9 players going through that midfield rotation that have been able to play at a reasonably consistent level. So that makes a big difference. We just got our pressure game going a lot better. When we come out of the North Melbourne game a month ago, we were really disappointed in the amount of pressure we put on the opposition, and that's the foundation of our game. And then a week later we were able to turn it around and have 100 tackles, and that essentially is the basis and foundation of our game. And as long as we're playing well and really strong defensively, everything else tends to work okay, and we've been able to be a bit more consistent with our defensive aspects of the game, and that's our 18-man defence. And if we get that strong, and things, other things usually follow from that.